You felt it before, haven't you? That strange tension when you walk into a room and the energy shifts. The smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes. The compliment that feels rehearsed. The friend who claps too loud when you win, but whose silence stings louder when you fail. You tell yourself it's nothing, but your gut knows. Someone near you does not wish you well. Someone who calls you brother, sister, friend, or partner secretly hopes you stumble just once so they can breathe easier in your absence. That's not paranoia. That's perception finally waking up. We live in a world obsessed with appearance, where people smile more than they mean it, where alliances are made out of convenience, not loyalty. Most don't love you, they love what you give them: attention, association, access, and the moment you stop feeding their hunger, the warmth in their tone turns to frost. You'll see it in their eyes, the envy they can't suppress, the impatience they can't hide. It's in your workplace, your friend group, your family. You've already felt it. Someone's energy shifts around your growth, and you can't explain why. You don't need to, you just need to recognize it. Niccolo Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. He warned rulers never to fear open enemies. Their actions are predictable. The true danger comes from within your circle, from those who stand beside you, waiting for the right moment to lower their mask. They won't challenge you directly. They'll agree, flatter, assist, pretend, and when your guard softens, they will use everything you shared as ammunition. The world doesn't fall to war anymore, it falls to whispers. You must understand. Hatred no longer looks like opposition. It looks like friendliness, collaboration, kindness. It wears perfume and politeness. It nods at your victories. It prays during your downfall. It pretends to love you until you stop being useful. And you, being human, will forgive it, excuse it, ignore it, until one day you wake up surrounded by smiles that mean nothing and support that collapses when you lean on it. This is why people in power often look detached. It's not arrogance, it's survival. To lead, to build, to thrive, you must see people not for who they claim to be, but for how they behave when the spotlight moves away from them. True vision is not sight, it's perception sharpened by pain. In this series, you'll learn what Machiavelli never wrote for the weak: the psychology of hidden hatred, the 7 faces that smile while plotting your downfall, the overly friendly one, the gossip, the promise breaker, the silent envy, the opportunist, the competitor in disguise, and the passive saboteur. You will learn how to see them, read them, and outlast them, not through anger, but through awareness. Because the people who secretly hate you will never shout. They will whisper, they will wait, and they are closer than you think. The people who will destroy you are not the enemies you see coming. They are the ones smiling in your circle, clapping for your victories, laughing at your jokes, while inside they seethe with quiet hatred. Their words sound like loyalty, but their hearts whisper treason. They sit close, not because they love your company, but because they crave your downfall. And when you finally fall, they will be the first to offer a hand, not to help you rise, but to confirm that you are truly beneath them. Machiavelli warned that rulers fall not from open rebellion, but from the deceit of those they trusted most. Remember this: daggers are rarely raised in battle anymore. They are passed in conversation, sheathed in compliments, and hidden behind smiles. Most people live blind. They assume hatred reveals itself in arguments, rivalry, or distance. But hatred, when refined, is subtle. It smiles, it nods, it flatters, it pretends to admire. The overly friendly one is its masterpiece. They praise you too quickly, mirror your words too eagerly, and attach themselves too fast. You mistake it for warmth, but warmth is not their goal. Their goal is entry. They overcompensate with affection to lower your guard, to study you closely, to learn your rhythm, your triggers, your vulnerabilities. They feed your ego to dull your perception, and when the time comes, they will use that knowledge like a blade. Ask yourself, how many of the smiles around you are real? How many of those who cheer for you would still be there if your light dimmed, if your fortune turned, if your influence faded? You have already seen it, someone who praises you endlessly in public, but whose tone shifts the moment you leave the room. Someone who offers help you never asked for, only to remind you later of the favor you owe. That is not kindness, that is leverage. It is affection weaponized. The overly friendly one uses charm the way others use poison, sweet on the surface, fatal underneath. You think friendship protects you, but it blinds you. When people flatter you, you stop observing them. You stop asking questions. You let them close. And proximity is power. The one who stands nearest to you has the most access to your downfall. Machiavelli said that a ruler must appear merciful, but never be naive. The art of survival is the art of seeing what others refuse to. You must look beyond words, beyond smiles, beyond gestures. Ask, what do they gain from being so close to me? Whose hand do they shake when I am not looking? Who benefits if I fail? Every compliment has an agenda. Every laugh hides a calculation. Every act of sudden generosity is an investment expecting return. These are not friends. They are observers waiting for weakness. The overly friendly one hides envy behind every word. Their praise is not admiration, it is measurement. When they tell you you're brilliant, they are comparing. When they tell you you inspire them, they are disguising resentment. They want you relaxed. They want you exposed. Because exposed, you are predictable. Predictable, you are controllable. And here lies the cruel truth. People rarely tell you when they despise you. They hide it in their timing, in their tone, in their silence, when you need them most. Hatred today wears perfume and smiles. It doesn't shout, it lingers. It doesn't strike, it infects. It turns conversation into reconnaissance. It turns laughter into camouflage. You will not feel its presence until the moment it strikes, and by then it will be too late. That is why most people never see the betrayal coming. They mistook imitation for affection, attention for loyalty, and constant praise for trust. You must learn to listen, not to what is said, but to what is missing. True loyalty has restraint. True respect has silence. Those who flatter you without measure are never loyal to you. They are loyal to what you represent. Your light offends them because it exposes their shadows. The more they smile, the more they hide. The more they praise, the more they prepare. And when you finally believe they are safe, they will twist what they know about you into a weapon sharper than any sword. Hatred in disguise is the most dangerous force in the human heart. It doesn't compete openly, it undermines quietly. It whispers doubts into your mind, makes you question your allies, distorts your focus, erodes your peace. And because it hides beneath friendship, you protect it, you defend it, you make excuses for it. They didn't mean it that way, they're just expressive. No, they are studying you. They are conditioning you to drop your defenses. And when you do, they strike, not with fury, but with precision. Machiavelli's wisdom remains unchanged through centuries. The greatest danger to any strong man is not rebellion, it is deceit. Hatred that wears the mask of affection is nearly impossible to detect unless you train your perception to see beneath performance. You must become still, observant, surgical. Notice the quickness of their praise, the timing of their compliments, the way they mirror your gestures. All of it is theater, and every actor has a motive. The overly friendly one will always make you feel at ease, because comfort is their trap. They will drown you in admiration until your guard softens, until you stop questioning, until you confuse familiarity with loyalty. But remember this, no one who truly respects you needs to prove it constantly. Real loyalty is quiet. It doesn't need applause or attention. The louder their affection, the deeper their resentment. So when someone appears too eager to please, too quick to align, too desperate to be seen as your ally, pause. Don't confront, don't expose, simply watch. Let them think you are blind. Let them believe their performance works, because when hatred hides in friendliness, exposure is not your weapon, patience is. A ruler who can wait unmasks every pretender, and once the mask slips, you don't need to attack, you simply withdraw. Their power dies the moment your attention disappears. The people who hate you the most are often the ones who know you best. The overly friendly one studies you, memorizes you, and mimics you, because envy always wants to become what it cannot destroy. And that is why you must learn to see friendliness, not as safety, but as potential danger. Every smile hides a question, every compliment hides a calculation, and every "I admire you" might just mean "I wish I could replace you." So I ask you now, in your circle, who is smiling too much? Who is praising too quickly? Who claps the loudest when you win, yet vanishes when you struggle? Watch them closely, because in part 2, you will see the next face of hidden hatred, the one that spreads poison not with a smile, but with words. The gossip. They smile when they speak of others, but their tongue is a blade. They feed on stories, trading information like merchants of decay. You think they're confiding in you, but they're rehearsing their next betrayal. The gossip's voice never rests because silence terrifies them. In silence, their power dies. They live to speak, to twist, to infect the air with fragments of truth sharpened into lies. They whisper to feel important, to feel superior. And while their words may sound harmless, Machiavelli warned that reputations are more fragile than glass. Once shattered, they can never be restored. The gossip does not attack your body. They erode your name, your credibility, your image. And a man stripped of his image is already half defeated. You have met this person. You've seen them lean in, lower their voice, and pretend to share a secret. Don't tell anyone, they say, as if granting you privilege. But what they're truly doing is testing you. They want to see if you'll join the game, if you'll trade integrity for inclusion, because the moment you do, you are marked. They'll carry your words into another room, polish them, distort them, and deliver them as a weapon with your name engraved on the handle. The gossip is not driven by truth, but by hunger for relevance, for attention, for proximity to drama. And in their hunger, they become parasites. The tragedy is that people mistake gossip for connection. It feels intimate, it feels like trust. But it's poison disguised as closeness. Every word they share about someone else is a rehearsal for the words they will one day share about you. You can't reform them, you can't warn them. The gossip does not change, because destruction is their way of feeling alive. They build nothing, so they tear others down to feel tall. They are arsonists of reputation, lighting fires they pretend to regret. And when the smoke rises, they stand in the crowd and say, "How terrible." Think of how quickly information travels today. A single whisper can become a wildfire. The gossip thrives in this age because they know the human mind craves scandal more than truth. Machiavelli said that people are more moved by appearances than by reality. The gossip understands this instinctively. They don't need to prove your guilt. They only need to suggest it. I heard something. I don't know if it's true, but these are their favorite weapons. Words that carry plausible deniability. They never lie outright. They guide others to lie for them. They plant seeds and let suspicion do the rest. You might think you're safe if you never give them ammunition. You're not. The gossip invents it. They can't stand a vacuum, so they fill it with stories. The absence of information makes them anxious, so they create it. They will study your expressions, your tone, your silences, and write their own version of your life. Their envy disguises itself as curiosity. They'll ask, "Are you okay?" But what they really mean is, "Tell me something I can use." They collect pieces of your private life, the way assassins collect weapons. And when the time is right, they strike, not face to face, but behind your back, where you cannot defend yourself. Their hatred is a form of cowardice. They can't confront strength directly, so they attack reputation. They know that once your name is stained, you will waste time defending yourself instead of advancing. That's their goal, to distract you, to drain you, to make you paranoid. They don't need to destroy you completely. They only need to make others doubt you. A seed of doubt can paralyze alliances, weaken teams, and erode trust faster than any open conflict. The gossip understands this. They rule through corrosion. How do you deal with them? You don't. You don't feed them. You don't join them. You don't react. The gossip starves when ignored. Their voice thrives on participation. If they sense you won't indulge, they move on to weaker prey. Never confide in them. Never defend yourself to them, and never correct their lies publicly. It only validates them. Let their words dissolve in the air like smoke. People who crave attention will always reveal themselves through excess. Their need to talk will expose their nature long before your silence betrays you. Machiavelli understood this dynamic in courts and kingdoms. The prince who speaks less commands more respect. The advisor who speaks too much loses influence. The gossip is the opposite of the strategist. They reveal more than they conceal, and that is their weakness. Every time they talk, they create witnesses. Every story they share creates a trail. And one day, that trail leads back to them. When it does, you don't need revenge. Their own tongue will hang them. The only punishment a gossip truly fears is being unheard. You must become the opposite. Measured, deliberate, unreadable. Speak less, but let every word carry weight. Let others rush to fill the silence while you observe. Because silence terrifies the gossip, but empowers you. Silence makes people project their own fears onto you. It turns your restraint into mystery, your calm into strength. Let them talk, let them spin their webs. You remain still, knowing that words fade but presence endures. Ask yourself, who in your circle thrives on stories? Who can't let a conversation end without dissecting someone else's life? Who listens too eagerly when others fall, yet offers sympathy that sounds rehearsed? That's your gossip. They'll pretend to care about everyone, but their true love is chaos, and if you allow them near your throne, they'll one day trade your secrets for applause. The gossip hates you not because of what you've done, but because of what you represent. Self-control. Your composure offends them. Your silence reminds them of their lack of discipline. They confuse stillness with superiority, and superiority breeds resentment. So they speak, not to inform, but to equalize. They talk to bring you down to their level, and when you refuse to join, your indifference becomes the mirror that shows them their weakness. That's why they can't stop mentioning your name. It's the only way they can feel your presence. One day their words will reach you through someone else, reshaped, distorted. Don't react. The moment you react, they win. Every second of your peace they steal feeds their vanity. Remember this, you can't control what others say about you, but you can control how forgettable their noise becomes. The less you respond, the faster they fade. Because here lies the Machiavellian truth. The world doesn't remember who spoke the most. It remembers who spoke last. Let them exhaust themselves. Let them drown in their own noise. And when their words crumble under their own weight, your silence will stand taller than any defense. But remember, gossip is only one mask hatred wears. There are others far more dangerous, far more personal. The next is the promise breaker. They don't wound you with words, they wound you with trust. They look you in the eye, swear loyalty, and vanish the moment you depend on them. They are the architects of quiet betrayal. They always agree, always nod, always assure you they'll deliver. But behind every yes is a silent no. The promise breaker is the most exhausting kind of enemy, because they destroy not through conflict, but through erosion. They don't stab you, they drain you. They speak in commitments, but act in avoidance. Every time they say, "Don't worry, I'll handle it," a small fracture forms in your foundation. By the time you realize what's happening, your plans are scattered, your focus blurred, your patience gone, and yet they smile, pretending it's all a misunderstanding. Machiavelli warned that treachery cloaked in obedience is the most lethal of all. The promise breaker thrives under that disguise. They are masters of appearing loyal. They know how to look busy, how to sound responsible, how to wear the right face at the right moment. They don't rebel, they delay. They don't argue, they disappear. They build trust through consistency of tone, not of action. And that's their art. They sound convincing enough for you to stop watching them closely. Once you relax, they stop delivering. Every unfulfilled promise is not an accident. It's contempt disguised as error. It is a message that says, your time isn't important. Your goals don't matter. My word means nothing, and I know you'll forgive me. But their game is psychological. They know that confrontation drains energy. They rely on your politeness, your unwillingness to appear controlling. They survive through your hesitation. They push deadlines, miss calls, forget meetings, and you explain it away. You think, they're busy. You think, it happens. But every excuse is an act of submission. Each time you accept their neglect, you train them to respect you less. They don't fear punishment, because you've taught them there is none. Understand this. A man's word is his weapon. When words lose value, order collapses. Machiavelli taught that discipline begins with fear of consequence. But modern weakness has replaced consequence with tolerance. The promise breaker thrives in that environment. They depend on your good nature to shield their laziness, on your empathy to excuse their betrayal. They weaponize your patience. And slowly, quietly, they teach everyone around them that your word is optional too, because if you don't enforce your own standards, no one else will. You may think of them as harmless, just unreliable, but inconsistency is the silent death of empires. A leader surrounded by promise breakers becomes predictable, reactive, emotional. They create small crises, and while you're busy fixing them, you lose sight of the larger war. They fracture momentum, and momentum is the heartbeat of power. When your movement stops, your control decays. Their betrayal is not the grand type sung about in tragedy. It is the quiet erosion of trust that makes every future alliance weaker. The promise breaker often hides behind charm. They're agreeable, polite, sometimes even humorous. They use emotion as insurance. You hesitate to hold them accountable because they seem harmless. But their weakness is not innocent, it's strategic. They weaponize your need to maintain harmony. They play the victim when confronted, twisting guilt back onto you. I tried my best. You're too strict. You don't appreciate me. These are not apologies, they are manipulations. Each one buys them more time to fail again. To counter them, you must do what weak men fear most. Make promises matter again. Never repeat an instruction twice. Never reward excuses. Replace sympathy with clarity. When they break a promise, act not with rage but with removal. Detach without drama. Let them feel the consequence of their unreliability through absence. The moment you stop chasing accountability, they reveal who they truly are. Because a promise breaker's greatest fear isn't punishment, it's irrelevance. They crave your reliance, not responsibility. You will notice something. The promise breaker always has energy for personal gain. They are suddenly competent when opportunity benefits them directly. Their delays vanish when their name is at stake. That is how you expose them, by watching where their effort goes when no one's watching. Loyalty is not about words, it's about alignment. The man who only delivers when rewarded is not loyal to you but to himself. Machiavelli said a ruler must be both loved and feared, but if he cannot be both, it is safer to be feared. Apply this not through cruelty, but through consequence. People respect what they fear to lose. Make your trust valuable. Make it expensive. Let them know that every broken word costs them access to you. Because power is not about controlling people, it's about making your presence a privilege. Ask yourself, how many times have you been patient with incompetence disguised as effort? How many times have you tolerated a pattern of almost done, I forgot, next time? Each of those moments drained your authority. The promise breaker is not just one person. They can live inside you too. Every time you promise yourself discipline and fail to act, you betray your own throne. You become your own saboteur. Power begins with keeping your own word. Only then can others fear breaking theirs. The promise breaker hates you because you expose them. Your consistency humiliates their comfort. Your results remind them of their excuses. That is why they secretly wish for your failure. It would justify their mediocrity, but you must not lower yourself to their level. Never argue, never beg, never explain. Just replace them, quietly, coldly, indifferently. That is how rulers act. Understand this. Betrayal does not always arrive with deceit. Sometimes it comes dressed as loyalty too comfortable to question. The promise breaker's "I'll do it soon" is a declaration of contempt. Their "I forgot" is a confession of disregard. Their "I didn't think it was urgent" is an admission of hierarchy. They do not see your word as law. You cannot fix that perception through reasoning. You can only erase it through absence. And yet, do not hate them. Simply learn. They are reminders that faith without verification is foolishness, that kindness without boundaries is suicide, that trust without testing is surrender. If a man breaks one promise without consequence, he will break 10, and the fault will no longer be his, it will be yours. You must become precise in your alliances. Surround yourself not with agreeable people but with reliable ones. Replace the charmers with executors. Replace talkers with doers. Replace emotional loyalty with disciplined consistency, because the strength of your circle determines the lifespan of your power. But remember, some hatred does not announce itself through failure or gossip. It sits beside you quietly, smiling as you rise, applauding as you succeed, but praying for your downfall in silence. The next mask of hatred is the silent envy. They pretend to celebrate you, but each of your victories cuts them deeper, and while they smile, they are already plotting your undoing. They smile when you win. They clap when you speak. They nod when others praise you. But inside, their stomach twists. Every one of your victories is a knife turned inward. They will never show it, because envy rarely shouts. It festers. It hides behind politeness, behind congratulations, behind the performance of friendship. The silent envy is the most poisonous presence in your circle because it acts like light while carrying darkness. They don't need to insult you. They only need to watch, to wait, to resent quietly until the moment their silence becomes sabotage. Machiavelli warned that envy is the shadow every ruler casts. It grows larger the higher you rise. You can feel them, though you cannot prove it. They linger at the edges of your success, pretending to be supportive but always deflecting praise, always changing the subject when your achievements are mentioned. Their compliments are mechanical, not felt. They never look you in the eye when you rise, but they're the first to offer sympathy when you fall. It's not kindness, it's relief. Misfortune is their oxygen. Your pain reassures them that life is still fair. When you suffer, they can breathe again. The silent envy hates you for the same reason moths hate the flame. Your existence exposes their lack of light. You remind them of what they could have been. Every step you take forward mirrors their stagnation. Every victory you earn reopens their old wounds. They can't celebrate you because your progress makes their excuses look smaller. So they pretend. They applaud with hands that secretly tremble. They listen, but they don't hear. Their mind is too busy rewriting your success as luck, your effort as privilege, your power as manipulation, because to admit your mastery would mean admitting their weakness. Envy is never idle. It studies, it compares, it collects. The silent envy is patient. They don't strike impulsively. They gather information slowly. Your habits, your insecurities, your network. And when the moment comes, they use it with precision. Sometimes they don't even need to act directly. They only need to plant suspicion in others, to distort your reputation subtly, to withdraw enthusiasm from your plans. A single quiet absence, a single lukewarm endorsement, a single delayed response can shift an entire perception. Their hatred hides not in words, but in omission. You must learn to read what isn't said. The eyes that don't light up when you succeed. The friend who becomes distant the moment your name gains weight. The colleague who celebrates you in front of others, but withdraws behind closed doors. That is the face of envy. It doesn't scream, it evaporates. Machiavelli understood this truth. The envious man is more dangerous than the declared enemy, because he attacks through decay, not declaration. A sword can be blocked, silence cannot. Why are they so dangerous? Because they don't know they hate you. Envy disguises itself even from its host. They tell themselves they're happy for you. They convince themselves they admire you. But beneath admiration lies irritation. Why not them? Why not sooner? Why you? They don't plot your downfall consciously. They simply fail to protect you when you need them most. They forget to defend you in a conversation. They stay quiet when lies spread. They let small attacks slide because deep down, it satisfies them to see your glow dim slightly. They will never betray you openly. They'll simply do nothing when betrayal happens around you. That is the cruelty of envy. It never acts as enemy, it acts as absence. When you fall, they won't push you, but they won't reach to lift you either. They'll just watch, relieved. That relief is their confession. You will see it in their delayed messages, in their excuses for not showing up, in the awkward silence after you speak of new goals. Those moments are not small. They are fractures in the foundation of loyalty. And loyalty, once fractured, never fully heals. How do you defend against what cannot be confronted? You don't expose the envious. You outgrow them. Do not feed them your victories as if seeking applause. Protect your progress with quiet dignity. Let your results speak where words would only provoke resentment. The envious cannot attack what they cannot see. So move in silence, not out of fear, but out of strategy. The man who hides his fire burns longest. Machiavelli taught that power attracts both loyalty and envy in equal measure. To have one, you must endure the other. Do not waste energy trying to make everyone comfortable with your success. Comfort breeds contempt. The strong are always misunderstood by the weak, because strength reminds them of their submission. You cannot make envy love you. You can only make it irrelevant. Understand this. Envy is not just their disease. It's a mirror you must guard against in yourself, because one day someone will surpass you and your reaction will reveal your discipline. The mind ruled by envy loses focus. The man who compares loses command. True power means applauding greatness, even when it outshines your own. That's how you transcend the weakness that consumes others. The ruler who learns to admire without resenting becomes untouchable. But for now, among your circle, you must see envy for what it is, a quiet plague. It does not need confrontation, it needs distance. Withdraw without explanation, replace proximity with silence. reward loyalty with access and indifference with invisibility. You owe nothing to those who cannot celebrate your light without squinting. Keep them near enough to study, far enough to starve, because envy feeds on attention, and your indifference will suffocate it faster than any revenge. Still, beware, the silent envy rarely stays silent forever. One day, opportunity will expose their heart. It might be a small disagreement, a rumor, a promotion, a success you didn't hide. They will slip, their tone will change, their smile will vanish for a moment too long, and in that instant, you'll see the truth behind the mask. When you do, don't confront them, simply remember, because the next time they offer praise, you'll know what it's worth. You cannot stop people from envying you, but you can stop them from reaching you. Keep your moves unseen, your progress unannounced, your triumphs delayed until they can no longer be denied. Let envy watch from a distance, powerless and speechless. Let it die wondering how you stayed ahead without ever revealing your steps. That is how rulers live, in silence above envy, not within it. But envy has cousins. Some don't hide behind smiles or distance. They hide behind usefulness. The next type won't appear jealous at all. They'll appear loyal, hardworking, indispensable. Yet their loyalty ends the moment your power weakens. They are the opportunists. They don't hate you because of who you are. They hate you because of how much they need you. They look like allies. They echo your words, praise your decisions, and follow your lead as if devoted to your cause. But their loyalty has an expiration date. The moment your power fades, so does their devotion. These are the opportunists, those who love the warmth of your fire, but will not endure the smoke that built it. They stand beside you when it's easy, when the rewards are visible, when your name opens doors. But when the current shifts, when storms rise, when loyalty demands cost, they vanish. Or worse, they switch sides. Machiavelli called them the fair weather friends of fortune, and he warned rulers never to mistake utility for allegiance. The opportunist does not serve you. They orbit you. They are drawn to your gravity, not your essence. As long as you rise, they feed off your ascent. They carry your banner, not because they believe in your vision, but because it benefits them to be seen under it. They study power like scavengers study carcasses, searching for openings, waiting for leftovers. Their loyalty is conditional, calculated, and temporary. They will kneel when you are strong, but the moment your throne shakes, they will already be standing, ready to walk away. You can recognize them by their timing. They arrive after the battle, never before it. They appear once the victory is secure, when the risk is gone and the applause is guaranteed. They attach themselves to strength the way parasites attach to life, and their presence is flattering at first. You mistake their eagerness for belief. You interpret their flattery as faith. But belief is proven in silence, not in noise. Faith is shown in the moments when no one else is watching. The opportunist never stays for those moments. They only appear when there's something to gain. Observe how they speak. Everything is about proximity. We, us, our victory. They include themselves in every success but disappear in every failure. They'll remind others of their connection to you when your reputation rises, but will forget your name when it trembles. To them, relationships are not bonds, they are transactions. They track value, not virtue. Their smiles are receipts, their compliments are invoices. They are loyal only to leverage. The danger of the opportunist lies not in their betrayal, but in their subtle corrosion of trust. They condition you to equate loyalty with convenience. They make you believe that commitment should always feel mutual, effortless, rewarding. But real loyalty is tested in difficulty, not comfort. True allies don't measure what they gain, they measure what they can endure. Machiavelli wrote that fortune attracts followers, but only virtue keeps them. Without virtue, your circle becomes a marketplace, not a court. And when the market crashes, every buyer disappears. The opportunist hates you quietly. They won't admit it, but they resent the dependency your strength creates. You remind them that their survival depends on your momentum. They envy your ability to lead while they must attach themselves to someone else's power. Their admiration curdles into irritation. They smile, but beneath that smile lives a question: when will I have what you have? And in that question, betrayal begins. You'll see their true nature when you no longer benefit them. Withdraw favor and they panic. Remove access and they shrink. Suddenly their tone changes. They become distant, critical, dismissive. They will project their disloyalty onto you, claiming you've changed, that you've grown arrogant, that success has blinded you. In truth, it's your boundaries that offend them. You've stopped feeding their need. You've exposed their hunger. To deal with the opportunist, you must do what they cannot: detach. Never rely on enthusiasm as proof of loyalty. Measure people not by their presence during glory, but by their silence during crisis. Watch who defends you when defense is costly, who stands beside you when no one is watching, who speaks your name with respect when there's nothing to gain. Those are your allies. Everyone else is furniture, decorative, replaceable, irrelevant. Machiavelli advised rulers to reward loyalty with opportunity, not access. Never grant full trust to those who have not bled for it. The opportunist will mimic every virtue to gain your confidence, but they cannot fake endurance. They lack the patience to remain steadfast in difficulty. Test them with inconvenience, delay their reward, deny their request. Watch what happens. Their tone will shift, their enthusiasm will die, and their mask will slip. Because opportunism is a hunger, it cannot survive fasting. Understand this. Power attracts users like light attracts moths. Do not curse them for their nature. Simply build systems that filter them out. Keep your circle small, your rewards structured, your access limited. Make loyalty expensive. Let effort precede favor. The opportunist thrives in disorder, in generosity without discipline. When everyone receives, loyalty loses meaning. But when rewards are tied to proof, the false vanish on their own. There is a deeper lesson here, one that separates masters from victims. If you depend on the opportunist's approval, you become one yourself. The need for validation, the hunger for applause, the desire to be liked, these are forms of opportunism within the self. The ruler who needs constant reassurance invites parasites. The man who acts without needing credit becomes untouchable. You must learn to operate as if already alone, to see loyalty as a gift, not a right. When you expect nothing, betrayal loses its sting. Still, there is one thing the opportunist cannot resist: the illusion of hope. Use it. Let them believe they're still in favor while you quietly replace them with those who serve out of discipline, not desire. The moment they realize their position was conditional, they will retreat on their own, muttering about your arrogance while searching for their next host. That is their punishment, to live forever chasing the glow of others because they have none of their own. But beware, not all opportunists are open in their pursuit. Some disguise competition as camaraderie. They claim to be your equals, your partners, your brothers in ambition, but every laugh hides comparison, every compliment hides envy. These are not parasites, they are rivals in disguise. They don't want to join your power, they want to become it. The next mask is subtler, colder, more dangerous. It's not hunger that drives them, it's rivalry. They compete for your place while pretending to protect it. They are the competitor in disguise. They will tell you they admire you. They will say you inspire them. They will speak your language, share your ideals, and stand beside you as if your success were theirs. But behind every nod is a calculation. Behind every compliment, a score. These are the competitors in disguise, the rivals who wear the mask of friendship. They compete not through confrontation, but through mimicry. They study your rhythm, mirror your tone, absorb your strengths, and wait for the moment they can surpass you. Machiavelli warned that proximity breeds ambition, and ambition without restraint becomes treason. The closer someone stands to your fire, the more they want to control its light. You will recognize them by their subtle comparisons. They never openly challenge you, they praise you, but always with a qualification. You're great at that, but I prefer doing it this way. You're talented, though I'd approach it differently. These are not harmless statements, they are probes. Every difference they highlight is a declaration: I want to prove I'm better. The competitor in disguise thrives on your validation, but resents your superiority. Your existence forces them to confront their own mediocrity, and instead of improving, they try to neutralize you, to compete quietly until you notice too late. They are the ones who copy your methods, but never give credit. They steal your phrases, your style, your strategies, and present them as their own. At first you'll find it flattering, a sign of influence, but soon it becomes unsettling. The reflection begins to move on its own. That's when you realize imitation was never respect, it was reconnaissance. They were studying you, rehearsing your role, waiting to replace you. In courts, Machiavelli saw this among ministers and generals, men who served loyally until the prince became vulnerable, then claimed his throne with the very tools they learned under him. Understand this. The competitor in disguise does not hate you for what you've done. They hate you for how easily you do it. They see your composure and interpret it as arrogance. They see your calm and interpret it as challenge. Every victory you achieve feels like an insult to their effort. They begin to believe they deserve what you have, and that belief transforms into obsession. They will not rest until they've equaled you, not in growth but in reputation. They don't want mastery, they want to be seen as masters. Their envy is active, not silent. They play a long game of psychological chess. They will subtly contradict you in front of others, testing boundaries. They'll question your decisions under the guise of curiosity. They'll mention your mistakes as lessons learned. It's manipulation disguised as contribution. They're not attacking your ideas, they're testing your authority. And once they find the limit of your tolerance, they push further. The moment you allow them to challenge you without consequence, you've granted them equality in the eyes of everyone watching. This is how power erodes, not through rebellion, but through equalization. The competitor in disguise wants to blur the line between leader and peer. They don't need to overthrow you, they only need to convince others that you're the same. Once your image of superiority collapses, so does your influence. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must always be both respected and slightly feared. Familiarity dissolves both. When people start to think they understand you, they stop fearing you. And when they stop fearing you, they stop obeying you. So you must do what most cannot: maintain distance. Never compete with the competitor. That is what they want. They want to pull you into comparison, because comparison is equality, and equality kills authority. Do not explain yourself. Do not defend your choices. Observe them like a scientist observing a specimen. Every time they speak of themselves in your presence, they reveal their hunger. Let them talk. Let them think they're winning. While they're performing, you are consolidating. Power belongs to the one who watches longest without reacting. Notice how the competitor in disguise always mirrors your emotional tone. When you're calm, they're calm. When you're passionate, they match your intensity. This is camouflage. They study your energy to replicate it, believing they can manufacture the same presence. But presence is not mimicry, it's essence. They can copy your words, but never your weight. Still, they will try, because envy makes men delusional. They think becoming you externally will give them your internal command. But imitation without soul always collapses. So let them copy. Let them exhaust themselves trying to recreate something they don't understand. The more they mimic, the more invisible they become. The competitor in disguise is also a master of timing. They wait for your weakest moment, your fatigue, your distraction, your vulnerability. Then they strike subtly: a disagreement in public, a rumor framed as concern, a suggestion made to your superiors that plants a seed of doubt. They do not attack directly, they redirect. They'll make others question you while they appear objective. They build their rise on your defense. That is why you must never argue with them, because the act of defending yourself elevates them. It signals equality. A king who argues with a courtier lowers himself to the courtier's rank. Machiavelli said it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. With the competitor in disguise, fear is your only shield. They must feel the cold edge of consequence when they overstep. Never show irritation, show detachment. Indifference is punishment to the ambitious. When they realize they cannot provoke emotion, they lose leverage. When they see that you will not compete, they lose direction. Their strategy collapses without reaction. Remember, rivalry thrives on recognition. The moment you stop acknowledging it, it starves. The competitor in disguise wants one thing: your attention. They need you to validate their importance by engaging, by comparing, by correcting. Do not give them that luxury. Continue your work as if they do not exist. Because the cruelest victory is not destroying your rival, it's thriving so effortlessly that they fade into irrelevance. But do not mistake indifference for inaction. Quietly prepare, document their moves, watch how they react to praise, how they respond to failure. Every pattern will reveal their weak point. When the time comes, remove them surgically, not in anger, but with precision. Replace them before they realize they've been replaced. The world won't see a battle. They'll only see that one man rose while another simply vanished. You will encounter many faces of hatred in your life, but this one is the most deceptive because it wears your reflection. They don't want your destruction, they want your identity. And in that pursuit, they will burn themselves. Your only duty is to remain unmoved while they do, because when ambition burns without wisdom, it consumes itself. But remember, not every enemy seeks to win. Some seek only to ruin. The next type won't compete, won't gossip, won't even challenge you. They'll help you fail without ever raising suspicion. They'll forget, misplace, delay. They'll smile while undoing your work quietly. These are not rivals, they are termites. The ones who destroy from within, under the pretense of loyalty. They are the passive saboteurs. They never argue, they never shout, they never rebel. In fact, they appear the calmest, most reliable, most obedient people in your circle. They follow instructions, they nod at meetings, they smile when corrected. But behind that mask of compliance lies decay. These are the passive saboteurs, the quiet destroyers, who dismantle empires one small delay at a time. They don't betray with daggers, they betray with neglect. Machiavelli said that fortune destroys the careless ruler, not through sudden disaster, but through the small hands of those who fail to care enough. The passive saboteur doesn't hate you loudly, they hate you efficiently. They won't say, "I refuse." They'll say, "I forgot." They won't reject your order, they'll misunderstand it. They won't fight your will, they'll simply slow it down until momentum dies. They are the termites of ambition, gnawing at the unseen wood that holds your structure together. They always have a reason, too busy, too tired, too unclear, too distracted. You can't accuse them of open defiance because they hide inside good intentions. But their pattern is unmistakable. Errors that repeat, details that vanish, promises that dissolve. Their hatred wears the costume of incompetence. You'll notice them most when pressure rises. Everyone else adjusts, they crumble. Everyone else sharpens, they forget. It's not inability, it's rebellion disguised as fatigue. They resent your authority but lack the courage to oppose it. So they sabotage progress under the mask of accident. Their satisfaction comes not from confrontation, but from watching you struggle to fix what they've broken. Each small failure you endure feeds them. They take pride in subtle ruin because it lets them pretend they're still loyal while quietly proving you're fallible. The passive saboteur's power lies in plausible deniability. You can never pin them down completely. Every mistake looks like coincidence. Every delay sounds reasonable. They weaponize your fairness. You hesitate to accuse, to appear paranoid, to seem cruel. That's how they survive, by hiding in your mercy. They know that strong leaders often rely on trust and delegation, so they position themselves close enough to essential tasks that their small missteps ripple outward into major consequences. They know your schedule, your pressure points, your standards. They don't need to defy you, they just need to fail you strategically. Machiavelli would tell you, the greatest threat to power is not disobedience, but decay. It is easier to crush rebellion than to cure apathy. The passive saboteur infects your structure with apathy. Their slow pace becomes contagious. Their carelessness spreads. Soon, excellence begins to feel optional. Deadlines flexible, accountability negotiable. One by one, others mirror their laxity. The empire doesn't collapse in fire, it dissolves in mediocrity. That is the true danger of the quiet hater. They don't destroy you directly, they make you destroy yourself by tolerating them. So how do you recognize one? Watch patterns, not excuses. True accidents don't repeat. The same misunderstanding twice is not misunderstanding, it's message. The same delay 3 times is not schedule, it's sabotage. They often hide behind self-pity. They play the victim, disarming your frustration with fragility. I'm doing my best. You're being too harsh. I didn't know it mattered. They make you feel guilty for expecting excellence. They turn your standards into oppression, your clarity into cruelty. And slowly, you begin lowering the bar until failure becomes normal. That's their victory. You must not confront them emotionally. Emotion gives them shelter. They will twist your anger into proof that you're unreasonable. Instead, cut their access, remove their leverage. Make systems, not speeches. Structure removes sabotage because it removes ambiguity. The passive saboteur thrives in the gray, vague instructions, flexible deadlines, unclear boundaries. Precision starves them. Documentation burns their fog. When every action is tracked, every task verified, their hiding place disappears. Suddenly their mistakes become visible. Exposure is death to the subtle traitor. When Machiavelli advised rulers to both trust and verify, he meant this. Trust keeps morale. Verification prevents decay. Never rely on character alone. The passive saboteur often disguises themselves as the quiet loyalist, the one who never complains, never demands attention. They make you believe that silence equals stability, but silence is neutral. It can hide discipline or deceit. To rule effectively, you must learn to listen not only to what is said, but to what is missing. The ones who never volunteer truth are often the ones crafting lies. The psychology behind their hatred is simple: impotence. They feel powerless around you. Your confidence makes them feel invisible. Your decisiveness makes them feel small. But instead of rising, they rot. They tell themselves, if I can't win, I'll make them lose. It's cowardice dressed as indifference. Their satisfaction comes from imbalance. If they cannot climb higher, they will pull everyone down until no one stands tall. That's why their sabotage feels subtle. It's not war, it's contagion. The strongest defense is emotional neutrality. Never let frustration show. Treat every act of sabotage as data, not drama. Replace them without announcement. When you confront them quietly with results, not accusations, they panic. They expect either anger or forgiveness. They're unprepared for precision. Calm accountability terrifies them. They can't argue facts, only feelings. Strip their shield of emotion and you reveal their guilt. But the lesson extends beyond them. There are moments when you become the passive saboteur of your own ambitions. Every time you say, I'll do it later, every time you let fear disguise itself as fatigue, you are doing to yourself what they do to you. You forget your goals, delay your discipline, misplace your focus. Hatred from others is dangerous, but self-sabotage is fatal. The enemy within must be ruled with the same ruthlessness as the enemy without. Never confuse stillness with passivity. True discipline is silent, but it's active beneath the surface, precise, consistent, unstoppable. Passive sabotage is silence without movement, motionless decay. You must choose which silence defines you, the silence of mastery or the silence of rot. The first builds empires, the second buries them. In the end, the passive saboteur is not just one person. It's an energy, a force that thrives wherever accountability fades. It infects families, companies, nations. It's the slow poison of almost. The quiet acceptance of good enough. The unspoken agreement that failure is forgivable if it's quiet enough. That illusion destroys more dreams than opposition ever could. So watch closely. Who delays under pressure? Who forgets too conveniently? Who makes small errors that always cost you large? Those are not mistakes. Those are messages. Every empire falls from within before it falls from without. And yet, beyond these 7 faces of hatred, there remains one final truth. It isn't enough to spot them. You must also learn how to rule them, how to turn hostility into hierarchy, envy into obedience, chaos into order. Because a Machiavellian does not fear enemies, he organizes them. Now you see it clearly. Hatred rarely screams. It whispers, it smiles, it obeys, it admires, it promises, it mirrors, it forgets. It hides in the eyes of those who claim to care. The most dangerous enemies you'll ever face are not the ones who stand against you. They're the ones standing beside you, waiting for the perfect silence to strike. Machiavelli understood this truth centuries ago. Power does not collapse from external force. It rots from within. You cannot live paranoid, but you must live aware, because awareness is armor. The strong man is not the one who trusts no one. It is the one who trusts precisely, who knows where to place his faith and where to withhold it. To survive in a world of masks, you must become fluent in disguise. Learn to see without reacting, to listen without revealing, to reward without depending. Let people show you who they are, and believe them the first time they do. But do not hate them. Each one of these 7 is a mirror of human weakness. The hunger for approval, the thirst for relevance, the ache of comparison, the fear of insignificance. Understand them, and you'll never be blindsided by them again. Because once you can read people, you can rule them. And once you can rule yourself, no one can rule you. Remember this law. Silence is not just protection, it is dominance. Stillness is not surrender, it is surveillance. Let your calm be louder than their chaos. Let your restraint be the proof of your control. When you move, move with precision. When you speak, make every word feel like decree. The less they know of your mind, the more they fear your will. Machiavelli once said that men must either be caressed or destroyed, for they will avenge small harms but cannot avenge great ones. Do not waste energy on small wars. Withdraw, elevate, and let distance do the killing. Because the highest revenge is continuity, the art of staying in power while others drown in their own emotion. Every smile you see, test it with patience. Every promise you hear, test it with time. Every silence around you, test it with presence. In a world of deception, your greatest weapon will never be aggression, it will be discernment. You now know their faces: the overly friendly, the gossip, the promise breaker, the silent envy, the opportunist, the disguised competitor, the passive saboteur. Each one teaches you how to see, but seeing is only the beginning. The true Machiavellian doesn't merely detect deceit, he bends it, redirects it, and uses it to build empires that last. So walk back into the world with stillness in your posture and calculation in your gaze. Let no word escape your mouth that hasn't first been weighed. Let no man close enough to wound you unless you are willing to be studied. Move with the quiet knowledge that power is not about appearing untouchable. It is about being unshakable. They will smile. Let them. They will gossip. Let them. They will promise, envy, and compete. Let them, because now you know their noise cannot touch a man who rules his own silence.